Bitcoin is continuing to drop here to the downside, and now the big question is the worst already over, or how low can we actually go, and from where came that fucking drop actually? That is something that I'm going to show you in today's episode, so stick around here, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, like this video, and also activate the bell so that you will never miss out on these really fast updates. And now let me show you what's going on here. So yesterday, actually before I boarded my plane, everything was looking fine. Bitcoin was here on the 50 minutes chart around $69,700. And I thought, oh yeah, that looks nice, some consolidation here before we get the next leg to the upside. I had seen yesterday something that I actually neglected and wanted to talk about also in yesterday's video. And also personally from my trading, I completely neglected that. And I'm going to get into this in a second, because that was a warning sign for this drop that we have now experienced here. So for the time being, you can see on the EMA ribbon, the flip failed back into an uptrend, and we got continuation out to the downside. I don't believe that we will go much lower than from where we are right now, but I'm also going to show you the exact levels that I'm looking at right now. Here, this support level that we had might be lost, the $66,000 to $67,000, but there is one underlying level that I'm looking at right now, and that must hold. If that's not holding, we are in really big trouble. But when we're also looking at the indicators here, the stochastic RSI, we're about to get another buy signal. The RSI is already oversold, and the stochastic, yeah, here, that could mean more continuation here. With the RSI being oversold, what we need to see is a bullish divergence. That has not happened yet as far as I can see. Yes, so here is already a bullish divergence that has not played out yet, but the bullish divergence will be invalidated if we break under this upward sloping trend line on the RSI. So if Bitcoin takes another $300-400 move to the downside, that could also then here result into invalidation of that bullish divergence here on the 15 minutes chart. What actually happened here? One thing that happened was that we had yesterday, after 5 days, the first time again negative ETF flows. So we are here minus $85.84 million negative flows. We see here that Grayscale was selling $302 million worth of Bitcoin. So if you calculate that up, that's around 5,000 Bitcoins that they were selling, more or less. And the market could not absorb all of it. You know, we could absorb more or less 2/3 of it, but 1/3 basically not. And that was adding more fuel to the fire while Bitcoin was already going down. And here was the main reason why we were going down. And that was something, again, that I neglected yesterday. Here on Velo data, you see here the Bitcoin CVD dollar. So, and that is basically the bit. That is an indicator that tells you if there is a lot of bits coming in, so basically buys, or a lot of sells. And every time when we are here under zero, that means that selling is right now dominating the market. If we're above zero, that means that we have a buying bid and that the market is going to the upside. So yesterday this was already looking like this, not as bad as it does now, you know, but we were already under zero, which was indicating that there is a lot of selling pressure right now on Bitcoin. And I thought, okay, let's wait for the ETF inflows. Normally that would turn it around, but it didn't because Grayscale sold so much, and we saw continuation now to the downside. The only positive thing that came from this is that the funding rates now completely reset, completely, but that doesn't help us, you know, so if Bitcoin does not stop dropping to the downside here. So when we're going here to this 4-hourly chart, also here you see the EMA ribbon is about to flip here for the first time in since a week into a downtrend. So also this flip has then potentially failed if we are not coming back up here really quickly. Here also to mention stochastic on the bottom, RSI in oversold territory, but the MACD is still bearish here. So once the MACD starts to print here lighter red candles, we can potentially assume that the worst is over, but we need like 2 or 3 of them before I would jump to that conclusion. And now we also broke $66,000, which is not a good sign for Bitcoin. When we are going here a little bit out, and I remove the EMA ribbon for a second just to show you clearer support. So we have here at 58,000 some support, but we have also another support level here. This is the support level. It's a thin one, but it is still something. So from $63,775 to $63,000, there is a level that we can watch. And then you can draw basically a line here at 65. That's what's holding us afloat here right now. So there is a potential where we could get a capitulation candle to the downside to like 65 or even a little bit lower, then turn around and continue the uptrend. But if we are not holding 65, then we go all the way down to 64, close to CME gap that's down there, and then most likely resume to the upside. So this is more or less the scenario that I'm looking at right now. But if we lose here the whole upside structure that we had, if we lose everything off that, then we should get ready to potentially go to sub $60,000 for Bitcoin. Here on the 4-hourly liquidation levels, that would mean if we only go to like, yeah, let's say we close the CME gap and we go to $63,800 or something, that here from $63,500 to $66,000 are a lot of liquidations on the long side, where a lot of longs will get liquidated. And I think that should be enough to push us back up, you know. So I think that we are going to see here some buyers stepping in these levels here to push us back up and go and liquidate all the shorts that are piled up above the price action right now. When I go to the liquidation heat map, yeah, you can see here clearly beneath us is not a lot anymore to clear on the liquidation heat map in terms of volume when it comes to liquidation. So the price needs to reverse to grab liquidity that's above us and not below us. So we can also have a look here on the monthly if we see there's something more beneath us. No, you see here the heated areas are all above us and below us. Okay, if you drive it to $63,500, here is a small block, but it basically stops there. So I don't think if I go here higher, then we see massive, yeah, you see, otherwise you need to push Bitcoin to $50,000. And that's something that I don't see happening at all right now. Here on the 24 hours, the last 24 hours, also here you see around 70,000 to 70,500 and all the way up to 71,300. That is the big area that should act like a magnet right now. And everything else, in my opinion, is considered a big liquidity and stop hunt and is trying to shake you out of the market. Even though if we go and close the CME gap today, you know, so it's not the worst in the world what's going to happen, you know, but I believe from there we would be ready to go back to the upside. See this as a big buying opportunity for altcoins, because if I go here to my list, we have here coins minus 15%. Everything in double digits is a really good buy here. RSR almost 18%. So that is something that is interesting me right now. Optimism almost at $3 again, you know, so AVAX at $47, which was over 50. Render lost the $10 mark. So this is these are all coins, you know, so they're really juicy right now to get into them. So you should consider if you have some dry powder on the side to buy some of these coins while we have a super red day here. I know it's a little bit scary to do that, you know, because everybody thinks, oh, maybe we drop even lower, but just buy a little bit. And if it drops low, you buy a little bit more and a little bit more until we reverse. Because like I said, I believe that we are not going that much lower from here, you know. So the worst case scenario would be the CME gap, and from there a reversal back to the upside. And that's also where I'm looking to actually add to my long position that I actually still have, you know. So I did not close it yet, just for transparency. If you want to buy altcoins and also leverage some of them, do this on BYBIT. Don't forget, you still get the $30,000 if you use the link down below here, or on Margex. There you can still let me handle the strategy and you just contribute money to it. It's called AMCrypto altcoins, link down below. And if you cannot use BYBIT or then you can just use BITGET or Phemex. Phemex just wrote me you can win up to $8,800 per day. I just forgot how. I think everybody that signs up has a chance to win $8,800 plus 9,000 Pulse tokens that Phemex has. So definitely go and check this out. So these are the two platforms that I would use if I could not use BYBIT in my countries that I'm residing. So definitely check them out. And otherwise, if you just want to copy trade, a traditional copy trade with the highest bonus in the industry, go to FAIRDESK with the link down below. They're all in the description or in the pinned comment under this video. So now let's talk about quick here about Ethereum, because also Ethereum is dropping and is actually dropping here back into a big support area. I'm not so much worried about Ethereum because it's holding quite strong in that drop here, even though we dropped here also 10% to the downside. But we are holding here right now this support area. So as long as we are holding that, Ethereum will come back and continue its rally to the upside once Bitcoin is done with dropping. Because also here, stochastic is at the bottom, and we should see soon here a bounce, most likely in the next 5 hours. If we don't see in the next 12 hours a big capitulation candle, then the worst is most likely over. And otherwise, you know from the capitulation candle that it's basically already done, you know. So, and here the capitulation candle could slightly go beneath $3,200, and from there comes back into this range, consolidates, and continues to go higher. Guys, that's it basically already for today's episode. I wanted to make it a quick one just to give you an update because I'm still traveling. Tomorrow I will be back at home. And yeah, don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.